In an ever-growing world, the amount of babies being born each year makes a huge impact on the overall population. However, there are certain trends that affect the population more than others. Different regions of the world have experienced population growth at different rates, which yields an interesting set of data. While the overall population has grown throughout the years, it is not always due to the amount of babies that each woman has. We will look at some of the data patterns from specific regions of the world in order to see why this is. There will almost always be some form of growth, but you will actually see that the amount of babies might sometimes drop. You will see that there are two red circles that reach all the way into the billions range. These two countries are China and India. Let's examine why their populations are so big. India and China are two of the most populated countries in the world, but not necessarily because there are lots of children being born there. These two countries are in a very good region of the world as far as weather goes, and with good weather comes good arable land. The culture and religion of these countries is also a factor in what brings people there. However, you will see that the amount of children in China eventually drops below 2, with India approaching that line as well. This is because both countries have implemented child rules at one point or another, which limits the amount of children a woman can have. China's two-child policy is still implemented today, and although India doesn't currently have one, their levels also dropped during the times when it was a law. In fact, children being born in India is actually becoming more scarce, as families no longer want bigger families, mainly due to either financial or health reasons, and yet the populations of these two countries are still some of the largest in the world.
Now let's look at Africa. You see the amount of children that are born in each country tends to fall between 6 and 7, yet only a couple top 100 million population size by the end of this graph. You also notice that the numbers finally drop towards the late 20th and early 21st century. This is because there were better medicines and treatments available to Africans during these years. The reason that so many children were born in the earlier years, but the population never grew, is child mortality. Because there was disease in Africa but no treatment, many babies unfortunately died very soon after birth. This led to mothers deciding to have more babies in the hopes of some of them surviving. A lack of contraceptives is also a factor, as well as poverty and hunger killing off many of those who were already born. As Africa has had more advancements in these areas, the population has grown even when the amount of children being born has dropped. This shows that the population does not necessarily rise and fall based off of how many children women have.
If you look at the continents of North and South America, you will see that the United States of America eventually skyrockets to the top, despite ending up at an average of below 2 children per woman. The United States has a special significance in the world as a melting pot of all cultures. People have flocked to the U.S. for many centuries in search of better opportunities. This has resulted in a large population increase over the years, and that increase is only becoming bigger. Here we see that population growth was the effect of large migrations of people rather than actual births.
In conclusion, the amount of babies per woman does not greatly affect the overall population. The global population is largely made up of a population of only a couple of countries. All of these countries have their own factors that have caused their high populations, but the amount of babies per woman is not one of them.